Stream. As with us always, I guess I'm your host, Chad Hardin, and our co-hosts, Ray,
Hello.
and Perry.
This is slowly starting to sound like the Twilight Zone.
Have you guys been watching Archive? Is it Archive 81?
It's on my list of
It's-
things to watch on Netflix.
It's like an homage to the Twilight Zone and Fringe, and I'm digging it. But
Cool.
I'm also might be digging it just because I'm old and there's tons of VHS tapes and I'm stoked for that for whatever reason. I'm like, ooh, look, technology that was relevant when I was young. So I don't know. Anyway, okay, so where we last left off, we did the pencils for this page, and now those pencils are done. Here's the finished page 1 of Death Watch. In all of its glory. Turned out nice, if I do say so myself. And let me go to gallery real quick, and we'll just sort of pop this open. So here's page 1, page 2. Ooh, the suspense builds. Now, instead of jumping onto page 3, if you've been following this, I'm trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm trying to get the concept art done for Artist Elite, and then also I'm building instructional videos for digital painting, my digital painting class. So we are going to finish the instructional videos today for digital painting. The assignment is character design, and so we're not doing page 3. We're going back to the character design, but when we come back next time, we'll either be doing more Death Watch pages or we'll be doing commissions with the IP vote. So I'll actually be maybe drawing traditionally next time. So if you're one of my fans that has an outstanding commission, there is a chance that you'll get to watch me draw it during the stream. So hopefully everyone's excited for that. So anyway, there's page 2, and then we can go back to the menu. And if you haven't seen, if you're not following me on socials, so here's our hero Reiner for Death Watch. This looked fantastic at 7 in the morning when I'd stayed awake all night finishing it, and it looked horrible when I woke up, but I'd already posted it to social media.
Oof.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
Yeah. So, maybe professional tip, I don't know which rule this is on Chad's rule tree. But yeah, maybe wait 24 hours before you post something on social media just to make sure it still holds up after you have space madness. So it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. The drawing was definitely better than the digital coloring. But yeah, I think its biggest problem is it just needs some reference. I did too much from the imagination. I was just blasting through it as fast as I could, trying to hit deadlines. And anywho, for something done without reference, it's not too shabby. But what's the old cliche axiom? Good artists create, great artists steal.
Yeah.
Grab that reference.
That's about right.
Yeah. So, Mecha Jared is joining us. Hello, Mecha Jared.
Hello.
And we also have our Russian bots. What would we do without our YouTube Russian bots? Das Vidanya. Is that hello or goodbye in Russian? I have no clue.
That's goodbye.
Is that goodbye? All right, Das Vidanya.
That's goodbye.
Later Russian bot. All right. And then we also have JD Smith, digital artist. That's a deadline result. I'm just going to go make toast in my bathtub.
Oh, no.
Don't do it. You're too young.
I saw a bath bomb. Looks like a toaster, and I love it.
Did I ever? That's a story. Maybe we'll tell the Harley bathtub story. So, and then apparently, for some reason I thought we colored this on a live stream, but maybe I did a live stream without you guys.
I think you did.
CFG
This
Game says,
seeing.
"What's up, Chad? Chili Chapters, hello. Chili Chapters is my student Dev. Dev, remind me about that paper. It's sitting right here, Dev. It literally is sitting right here. And this is where I'm sitting right before I rush out the door to go to teach class. So your paper is literally within arm's reach in this flat file right next to me, and yet I can't pull it off. So, anywho, welcome to the stream. I lost my train of thought. Oh, so anyway, I can't remember if I colored this on the live stream or not, but so colors for the main hero, colors for a form of the villain, and then just the pencil, which for the hero, I think the pencils look better than the colors. And today, by unanimous vote, we are going to be coloring the Death Deer. Oh, hang on. What did we name it, Perry?
The Beelzebuck.
The Beelzebuck. It's Beelzebuck. Copyright 2022. Hardin Art Studios LLC. Anywho, okay. Let's see. Who wants to man the chats? The Twitch chats. Allison has joined us.
Hello.
And then let's see. As Mobius form is giving me some Delkion vibes for some reason. The rendering maybe. Was I going for Delkion? I'm a huge Delkion fan. If you're not familiar with his works, he started out in comics penciling Dragon Force, but became famous with his rendition of the Hulk, and then moved over to Image Comics and did The Pit, and then just sort of disappeared. I don't know what he's up to today. I wish him well. I hope he's doing good. And then Sean Delaney's here, heading out from the radio station. Have a delightful... Daggone it, Sean. Well, you drive safe, buddy. Hope your mom's doing better. And Allison says, how have you been, Chad? We're doing good. But we're gonna put the smack down on the colors for Beelzebuck and finish our digital painting assignment, coloring assignment. So, anywho, let's get this ball rolling and start drawing. Oh, double tap. And we are in Procreate today. This might be something that would probably, be better done in Photoshop, but we're just going to roll with that Procreate ball because most of my students are using Procreate because of the affordability. And let's face it, everyone has an iPad, and Photoshop on the iPad is a disgrace, and the people at Adobe should be burning for their crimes against, well, basically for saying that they would have a working version of the iPad, a full version of Photoshop on the iPad back when it was the iPad Pro 3. And now we're well into the iPad Pro 4, and Photoshop is nowhere near the full version and still a steaming pile of poo. So kudos to Procreate and Clip Studio, which have functioning versions of their software. Anyway, back to Beelzebuck. So I'm just going over the drawing and making sure that we don't have any holes, because I'm gonna make some selections on the outside, just to block in the areas to make it easier to lay in my flats. We're gonna do a very, very, very simple coloring process. This is by no means a professional demonstration of how to color comics. This is more if you are brand new to Procreate, an introduction to digital painting software, and you're just basically playing around with some of the features of the program. It's basically an entry-level assignment to Procreate, just to introduce you to some of the selection tools, some of the coloring tools, some of your layer options. It is by no means like, hey, this is how you color comics professionally. I have no idea how that's done. You'll have to ask Alex Sinclair. You'd have to ask Paul Mounts, Lady Erin, or Lady Rin, Enrica Angelini. These, if you want to find out how they do it, follow them and get tips from them. Chuck Michael Obach, Jesse Hagee, they'd be able to answer those questions. This is more of a Let's have fun in Procreate demonstration. So right now I'm using a pencil that I made in Procreate. It's just called Chad's Holding Lines, and it's sort of a mix between a penciling brush and an inking brush, and I'm just going along my contours. Sometimes I had an editor, Joey Cavallari at DC, that would call contour lines holding lines. So before I knew what a contour line was, I called them holding lines, and now it's just sort of a vestigial part of my vocabulary. All right. So while I draw, Perry, Ray, why don't you tell everyone what you've been up to? And then someone needs to. Oh wait, this is holy crap! Holy crap! There's so much going on in the chat. Okay, so a lot of this is Facebook, so I need to read part of this. So Mark make Beelzebuck. I can't repeat that. I can't repeat what you just said, Mark. But I am. So I called.
That's a compliment.
This week, bro. Where you been? I have not been getting your calls, buddy. So I will have to check and see what's going on. But things have been pretty crazy. It says it took Dale like 1.5 years to do 3 issues of Pitt. Because of that, my love for his work took a major hit and kind of lost track of him, unfortunately. His work with Peter David is still some of the best Hulk stories to this day. I would agree with you, but make sure you check out Ryan Otley's current run on Hulk. Nobody's better than the Uncle Waya. So make sure you're buying and supporting Ryan Otley's work. Sean Delaney hitting out from the radio station. Have it delightful. I thought we read that already. Somehow we got a duplicate on that. Beelzebuck. We're getting duplicate comments. That is weird. All right. The deer is awesome. Thank you, JD Smith. And then Allison Cart. I love that pencil. Allison, one of my students who I openly share all my brushes with. Glad you like it. And then it's the only one I use for sketches. My kids tell me I need to put it up on my Patreon, which I need to do something with my Patreon. That's for sure. And then shrooms. So... Yes, we have all of the evidence of decaying flesh on Beelzebuck here. So, you guys, Perry, Ray, just remind me to look up every now and then and check the chats, especially the Facebook chats. But if you see something in Twitch, go ahead and read it out. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
Chad's chat check.
Yeah, that'll remind me to look up and check Facebook. Okay, so that's looking pretty... You know what, there's going to be a lot of this.
Ray, did you want to mention anything you've been doing lately? Any kind of update on the life of Ray?
I've just been working on my comic pages for Apocalypsis. I ran out of my queued pages from last semester, so I'm theoretically supposed to be finishing a page tonight if I want to stick to the update schedule I have laid out, but I'm not sure I'll be able to do that since I think it's going to take me about a week and a half to get pages done, not one a week. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm working on it right now to see how far I can get at least.
They looked really good in your uploads to the sequential class. So I could definitely tell that like you've taken them from the last time I've seen them and just kept adding. We have a lot of cool, strong students in that class right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you looked at the discussions?
I've glanced at them a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. There's some people definitely bringing their A game. For sure.
Nice.
So, and then Mechager says, Chad, I'm feeling much better. I had a cold, which wreaked havoc on my allergies, which is why I sounded so bad. We are glad that you are feeling better, buddy. I'm waiting to see whether or not I come down with the COVIDs. I had a direct, probably the closest exposure that I've had during the pandemic. I had a student that I was basically giving a demonstration to in my gesture drawing class, and then they got home that night and immediately fell ill. So I was like literally probably 3 feet away from them for 2.5 hours.
Oh boy.
But I'm fully vaccinated, and I've been exercising, and hopefully I dodge that bullet. But if I don't, have you guys both had COVID? Or you guys both?
I got
never
the
had it.
Omicron variant over winter,
You did?
but it wasn't too bad.
Okay. Were you vaxxed before? So you just
Yeah, I
bounced?
was.
Yeah, okay. And that's what everyone's saying. Everyone that I've talked to that's had the vaccines, they're like, it was a bad cold. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
That's pretty much what it was.
so I'm hoping if I do get it. I don't want to get it, especially with everything going on Monday that we talked about. But all right, okay, let's start selecting. So I just went around the contour, making sure that there weren't any holes, and then let's go to the selection. Let's go to automatic, boink, deboink, deboink. And then let's just make all these little selections here. Now, Ryan Brown, who we've affectionately named Intern Ryan. He was Gemma's intern before I started taking interns. He gave me a tip on Instagram. Let's see if we can get this right. So look, okay, so you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to decrease that selection line by tweaking my threshold on my selection, but if I go too far, it starts to expose weaknesses in my contour. So that's about as far as I can go without that starting to go crazy. But that's a pretty good selection.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. So let's just keep adding to it. Boink. Boink. Oh, Rut-row raggy. Heck on it. Okay, so now we're going to switch tools. We're going to go back to freehand, and we're going to hit remove, and then I'm just going to manually cut out these parts. I'm sorry, add. And we're going to cut out these parts right here. There we go. Let's see what happened. I missed it, deck on it. But someone liked the stream, so thank you. And then let me just check. Okay, cool. Last comment was still Jared, letting us know that he's feeling better. Okay, good. All right. So I have my selection. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save my selection. I'm going to click or tap on save and load, hit the plus tool, and now my selection for Beelzebuck is saved. I think I want to invert that real quick. So let's invert, go back to save and load, hit that again. I don't think it inverted. Son of a... Yeah, let's get rid of this. Alright, hold on. Go back here, invert, save and load. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And then now, hopefully, when I go to color this, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to create a new layer that floats underneath. And let's find a color. So we have, we sort of have a, I would say we have a blue vampire, and we have like a black, and like almost like a steel blue, maybe even a little bit of violet in Reiner. So what color are we making Beelzebuck?
You already have two cool colors, then probably do something maybe a little bit warmer.
Okay, so let's go with a natural. What if we just grab like this sort of this reddish brown? I'm gonna make that a little bit more neutral, and then I'm gonna make it a little darker too. And then let's just boink. Perfect. Look at that. Right into that selection. Now,
Really do be looking like a healthier.
so I think hold on. Okay, I know what happened. So I'm going to come in here to this. I'm going to change this layer from normal to multiply. It looks like instead of erasing on the original, it looks like I just toggled in between white, which is a no-no. And then let's go ahead and, I swear I've gotten like 50 spam calls today. There's that. Doke. And and what just happened? I think Reflector just quit. Or did I lose internet?
I don't think you lost internet.
And you're still streaming and we can still hear you.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Alright, well let's restart. That was weird. Huh. What the? I'm gonna restart Reflector here real quick. Technical difficulties. Are the knees sharp blades? Yes, they are. And if we can get Reflector back up and running.
Biscuit keeps trying to eat trash out of my trash can.
Biscuit.
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 Biscuit. Biscuit.
Okay. For some reason, it switched over to my other Wi-Fi channel. So, and that's why it dropped us. Because I have to be on the same Wi-Fi on my desktop as I am on my iPad for this to work.
To be honest, seeing that like technical difficulties can happen to people that, you know, have done this often gives me a little bit of hope, because now I live in fear of technical difficulties while streaming.
It's going to happen. And the older you get, it's going to happen more. You guys laugh. You laugh. I'm going to watch you when you're doing this when I'm 50 from my deathbed and just cackle like an old mad man.
Aren't you only 40-something?
I'm pushing 50. I'm pushing 50.
What do you mean your deathbed when you're 50?
No, because by the time like you guys reach my age, I'm gonna be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were implying that you would be on your deathbed when you're 50. I was like, Chad,
No,
that's like
no.
In a few years.
Maybe.
What?
Maybe if I keep eating Doritos for lunch and chugging energy drinks, like I don't know.
Yeah, that's on you.
It is on me. Sorry, guys, that we're doing this. We had it all set up, and then there we go. All right, where were we? All right, so let's just make some variations in our coloring choices. What if we did like a contrasting color scheme for some of the decaying fungi? I am going to come to my color layer. I mean, I'm going to make some really quick. Whoopsie daisy. Let's turn this down. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So let's make some of these little growths on Beelzebuck. And I'm going to switch over to my, which pin? Feather. So if you're watching what I'm doing, basically I'm just, oh, I did something that did not work out the way I wanted it to right there. Make sure you draw all the way to the edge. There we go. So this is a process called flatting. And the faster you do it, the better. Most flatters that I know just use the selection tools in Photoshop. And they're just sort of magicians with that. But like I said, we're in Procreate. And I don't think that there's anyone that colors professional in Procreate. And even if we're in Photoshop, like I said, I'm not a professional colorist. So a lot of this gore, I'm just turning green. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, look, there's my gap. I was about to say. Right? What? Nope, there's another gap. There we go.
Have you guys watched The House on Netflix?
The House?
No.
Please do tell.
It's a stop motion thing, actually.
Okay, I was like, how did I miss this? But I know what you're talking about. It looks like sort of like the Incredible Mr. Fox.
Yeah. Yes, Allison K. Art in the chat has seen it. It is definitely weird. I kind of like that it's weird though. Like, I gotta be honest. I'm glad that, you've seen it before, Allison, so you'll know what I'm talking about. Because the whole premise of the thing, it's like 3 different stories, but they all take place in, this one house over like a period of time. There's this one part in the second story where like this musical number just kind of happens out of nowhere. And the first time I watched it, it was the strangest thing. Like, I was like, I have no idea what's going on, and it makes me like slightly uncomfortable. But now I watch it and I think it is hilarious. Still weird, but hilarious, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's losing his mind. So, kind of entertaining.
I binge watched the new season of Afterlife, and then when I got done with that, I binge watched Derek. So if you're a Ricky Gervais fan, I highly recommend it. Dark humor though. If it is some sad stuff. So if you don't like dark, sad humor, just be forewarned. But I woke Joy up laughing at it. Anyway, for whatever reason, it was soothing to the soul for me this last week.
I like dark humor, so give it a look.
Do you like Ricky Gervais?
I am not very well versed in Gervais.
He's very controversial.
I think I know a whole lot of Gervais.
People either love him or hate him. There's not a very big middle ground. Daggone it. a biscuit. Let's see. I think Mark's trying to text me while I'm live streaming. Send it in the stream chat, buddy. Unless you can't. I can't read it. I'll Mark, if you're watching or hearing this, I'll read it after we're done. I'll give you a call.
Look up in order to do all of that, like, decaying goodness.
I know, right? So Mechajer says, I just recently rewatched the 1986 film Vamp with Grace Jones. It is a great horror comedy. I also saw, Jared, that you watched The Hunger with Susan Sarandon. Now, for some reason, I want to say that David Bowie was in that film. Am I right, or am I just tripping? Let us know in the chat. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. Let's turn off our line art layer. Ooh. So remember, this is a digital painting demo. I'm just doing the coloring the flatting way because I've been in comics for 14 years and I've basically forgotten my old process. Am I on the wrong brush? Chad Feather, no, I'm on the right brush. Oh, the opacity's down low. Daggone it. It's like, why is it doing that? Okay, so now that my opacity's back up high, that really sort of stinks. I'm going to have to come over here and just do some of these real quick. Daggone it. Yeah, I was right. David was in the film. That was directed by Ridley Scott's late brother, Tony Scott, who also directed Top Gun. Rest in peace, sir. He died a few years back, committed suicide, jumped off the San Francisco Bridge, I believe. Maybe the Brooklyn Bridge. It was a famous bridge. But hell of a director, so it's always sad when... Well, suicide's always sad, but... Sad when we lose a creative genius and we just don't get to enjoy their art anymore. Any new art, I should say. Oh, speaking of the Scotts, have you guys seen The Last Duel?
I think so.
That is a brutal watch. I love Ridley Scott. You guys know what I'm talking about. Blade Runner.
Alien, right?
Alien, yes. Yeah. So he his latest film was called The Last Duel. It's one of the, like, I watched it one time. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Yeah. And Gladiator is another. That's a Ridley Scott film. So, you know, he like everything he does is basically a hit. And this movie was perfectly cast, wonderfully acted, wonderfully directed. It's just the subject matter so disturbing. It's, I mean, Gladiator is sort of, you know, like, you know, anyway. Let's see. It's amazing. Love the movie. Have watched it twice already. So, yeah, I agree. But it's some harsh. And Matt Damon, Allison, watch it like I did. I know what you're thinking. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, but they play, like, all the men in the film play complete jerks. So it is perfectly cast, okay? I stand by that statement. It's like, hey, let's get some mega nozzles to act out the role of old timey-wimey mega nozzles. So, okay, so I'm just making sure that everything looks as good on my flats. And I'm zooming around as fast as I can. Okay, so we have the flats, and we have everything else. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my layer, and they're going to hide one, and then that way if I ever mess up, I'm basically, I have a save. Okay. Alright, so let's add some shadows to this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a green shadow. Actually, let's hang on. I think let's go back to the disc, and I want to say that I was using like a neutral blue for the other shadows. So let's stick with the shadows that I had established before. So I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to keep it on top. I'm going to change it to a multiply, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to do some cell shaded shadows. Now I'm going to look at my rendering, and the light source is basically going to be coming from like this direction, just by the indication of my rendering. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and then come in here and just add that cell shading. Then you guys might be thinking this is really, really dark. That's okay. Let me just get a little bit more cell shading going. Trust the process. Let's see. I heard the Last Duel was a slog to get through. You got to watch it. I don't want to spoil it, because I know it flopped, and I know people did not watch it. So I'm not going to get on here and be like, yeah, this is what happened. I want you to. I think it's a good enough movie that you need to go see it. But it is not a pick me up. It is not. The good guys, yeah. Anyway, just I don't even know if there are good guys. There's just horrible people. I guess there's someone that's relatable and likable, but anyway, there's definitely a protagonist. So this is looking really dark. It's probably looking even darker on your screen than it is mine. So I just want to show you though, not to really fret about that, because we always come in here and we could just adjust the opacity of our shadow layer and get it to a point that is acceptable to us. And so if we need to make changes, we're going to make changes that way, not the other way.
I think on the topic of like movies that you watch once and you never really watch them again, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to watch Clockwork Orange again.
That's it, yeah. And it's along that same line. That same thing. For that reason.
Because, like, I thought it was a good movie and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Just, oh my gosh, I walked away from it not feeling great.
Yes, there you go. And, yeah. Let's see. Okay, cool. I was wondering if it was good. That's from Allison. And then Mechajera, what's funny is that Ridley Scott tried to blame it on superhero films, and my first thought was, Ridley, could it be that you just made a crappy film? No, he didn't make a crappy film, but and it's not the fault. Okay, it's not the fault of superhero films. I'm sorry, it's just not. What it is we're in the middle of a pandemic, and nobody wants to see a film that makes them more depressed than when they walked in. People need escapism right now. Like, I'm sorry, like, you guys know how much of a Dune fan I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man was such a better movie experience than Dune. Just because it left you on a much better optimistic high. And I just think right now escapism is what we need more than...
Chad.
What? What?
Allison is saying reflector dropped again.
Daggone it. It did. What the... How long's it been that way? Daggone it. What is going on?
Not that long.
We've never had this problem before. And we just upgraded our internet, too. Which is making me really... PO'd. Oh, I know what it is, though. I just figured it out. Okay, hold on. It's going to be my PC. Why... I know what happened. Okay, I don't know how to fix that, though. Are we still live, everybody?
I think you're still...
Because
Because you're offline.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But the chat's still up, but it did reset our counter for how long we were live. So
It's been about 40 minutes.
yeah, well right now it says we've only been going for 27 seconds. Okay, but Arturo, droppity drop, JD Smith, are you...
I'm about to send a message that says we're trying to figure it out, so hang tight.
Yeah. Okay, see, and I see the multi-stream. I see that you said that. Alright, while you're doing that, I'm going to see if I can get this back up and running. Oh, internet. Okay, we're back up. Alright, good. Okay, good. Hopefully... Ah, daggone it, we lost all of our viewers, though. Bummer. Alright. But people are coming back, so hopefully everyone comes back. Daggone it, what a pain. Alright, we're trying to get Reflector back up and running. Sorry guys, for whatever reason the internet's not cooperating today. Skippity doodah. That question's directed towards Allison. Allison, are you still streaming? Skippity doodah wants to know. See if I can get Reflector to pop back up. Okay, Reflector's back up. Maybe Reflector's back up. Huh. There we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. Alright, so where were we? We were laying in our cell shading. Cell shading is basically how they used to add shadows to animated features by just painting in a strong shadow shape without any type of a soft shadow, so everything has a hard edge. That's weird. Just drop that in. Boom. Should drop that leg back. Everything should look nice and... Let me just up the opacity. I'm looking at the screen and the opacity is just not... There we go. Right about... There we go. Okay, that looks darker. Let's see... The funky internet is probably the fault of the superhero film. Zing! I can understand. I do understand the frustration though of like doing something that is incredibly well made, and then no one's going to watch it. But to blame it on the audience, never a smart move. Never a smart move. You just got to understand the mood that the average viewer is in. It's not a good one. So we want to see Ghostbusters. We want to see Marvel films. We don't want to see stuff that makes us sadder than when we entered the theater. It's not what we signed up for. There we go. And once again, at some point I'll come back in. I'll turn that back off, and then make sure that my flats look good. But right now I'm just going to keep cruising, buzzing through. Martin Scorsese. So this is from Mechager. It says Martin Scorsese did the same thing and blamed them. Is that... When did Martin Scorsese say it? Anyone know? I wasn't... I remember the Ridley Scott one. It seems to me I was on Twitter when that was trending. I don't remember what sort of triggered the Martin Scorsese fan backlash. Huh. What do you guys think? Let us know what you think. Are Marvel films not cinematic? Are they not art? Are they just sort of studio formulaic crap that is highly predictable?
Can they not be both?
They are sort of a mixture of two. I mean, let's face it. Most Marvel films are incredibly formulaic, and honestly, like I do not feel obligated to watch any Marvel film anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
But
I would say that a lot of Marvel films started out being really artistic and cool, and they were more formulaic, but they were still super enjoyable. A lot of the superhero origin movies I still enjoy a lot. And I've actually talked about this with my friend on stream before. And at least for me, what has been lost in recent Marvel films is personal investment.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of the origin hero movies, or like with Spider-Man especially, Spider-Man's always been really good at this, you see the character and you get to know them, and they have personal stake in what's going on. They have friends and family, and you know who they are, and you get invested in the character. But then when you have a cast that's way too big, like with Endgame or, you know, any of the other nonsense ones, there's too many characters for any of them to actually have any meaningful personal investment.
right.
So as a result, like, the viewers just don't care because there's nothing to care about. There's just like 20 characters. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and as someone who grew up reading the comics and that knows the backstories, it is almost like that. It feels like the films were just made for me. So, JD Smith says Marvel can be formulaic at times, but they are solid family entertainment, certainly cinema, just not Marty's kind of cinema. I do want to say this. I think what they're doing... We lost so many viewers when we started talking about
Good.
It happens.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh. Really? We got canceled. Anyway, I think the art in it is tying the continuity. So for those of you who aren't aware, you know, the Spider-Man films happened before Marvel Studio ever started making their own films. So Marvel
Maguire,
Studios,
right?
yeah, exactly. Those films were Sony Pictures. Sony bought the rights to the Spider-Man franchise, just like Fox had bought the rights to the X-Men franchise. Okay, and so all these franchises existed outside of the Marvel Studio films, which was Marvel making Marvel movies. Okay, so Marvel Studios might have been involved, you know, almost like as a consultant on some of this stuff before, but they weren't making their own movies. And the first Marvel Studios film was Iron Man, which was the best time I've had at a movie since Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It was that, like, it took me back to my childhood. I love that film. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy. But are they like groundbreaking deep cinema? No, they're feel-good movies. They're popcorn movies. All right, and you know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm an escapist. I work. You know, comics is for the most part escapism. I mean, every now and then there's a morality tale in there, and there's there's a little bit of propaganda going on. You know, anyone that wants to say that, you know, comics weren't political back in the day just isn't paying attention. They've always been political. I mean, you got to remember when Jack Kirby and Joe Simon drew Captain America punching out Adolf Hitler on the first issue of Captain America. Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year. So these were...
No,
yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Oh, you guys didn't know this?
I didn't know this.
Really not.
America loved Hitler at the beginning. At the
Wow.
begining. Yep.
Listen to all
This
the
is
things
information
that we
I did
don't
not
learn.
want to
Oh,
know.
yes.
Wow.
Yep. And it wasn't
Disappointed, but not
until...
surprised.
Right. It wasn't until we started fighting Hitler that we started to be like, no, Hitler bad. Bad Hitler.
my gosh.
And this is what America does. When America is going to go to war with somebody, they demonize them. And that's how you know we're about to invade a country.
Oh boy.
You know, the terrorists. We must stop terrorism everywhere in the world. So,
Try to build like a common enemy.
Yeah. So we have to, we have to go and make the boogeyman. The bad boogeyman's coming to steal your kids. And don't get me wrong. I mean, after 9/11 happened, we were going to blow something up after 9/11, right? I mean, that was going to happen. You can't have that type of well, I mean, there's a lot of people that called it the modern day Pearl Harbor, and there was, I mean, it got people. How old were you guys when that happened? Were you born yet?
I was born, but like baby.
Baby.
Yeah, I was but a toddler.
Yeah, if you would have gone to the American people and said, we're not going to blow someone up after 9/11, you would have been, like, if a politician... I think there are only 2 politicians that didn't vote for the war in Iraq, which made no sense because we literally bombed, like, the wrong country.
Yeah.
But at the time, the American public did not know this. They were withholding information. Anyway, if you'd have been a politician and said, we're not doing this, you would have been lambasted. Now, I think it turns out that Barack Obama was one of the only politicians that voted not to go to war. And 8 years later, that really helped him out when he ran, because it turned out, we basically blew up Iraq when it was a terrorist cell operating out of Afghanistan. Anyway, but yeah, that's how we justify war. We make these boogeymen, and we got to get them before they get us, and they whip everybody into a furor, and then bad stuff happens. But everybody, let me tell you something. Everybody after 9/11, everybody wanted blood. I mean, it was it might have been one of the last times as a country everybody was almost universally on the same page. Like someone was going to get blown up. And unfortunately, we squandered that on blowing up a country that had nothing to do with the attacks. And then look at where it got us. 20 years later. Look at where it got us. So knee-jerk reactions, not good. Taking the time to think things out and think about them. But anyway, yes. Hitler was at one point in time Time's Man of the Year. I don't think Time Magazine has a very good track record of their Person of the Year. I think they've had some pretty disastrous people picked. I know there's a lot of people mad this year that Elon Musk was the Man of the Year. So, who knows? History will tell the tale. Let's see. Nobody's commenting. We have waded into the murky waters of politics. And everyone's like, let's go back to talking about Marvel films. Anyway.
Because I think enough time has passed. The only reason why I went to go see the new Spider-Man movie was because I wanted to see William Dafoe as Green Goblin again.
So good. So good.
That was nice. I enjoyed seeing the people who I grew up watching, because I remember watching the old Spider-Man films when they first came out.
Same.
Yeah, it was nice to, see him back with him's little green bombs and with the mask and stuff.
I don't know how he has not aged a day.
William Dafoe.
Yes.
That's why.
He is bathing in the blood of innocence. Because...
it's working out for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever he's doing for immortality, yeah. Let's see. I have a podcast called Goth Nerd Revelations. Let's see. You should check out my episode on Dave Sim. I don't know where that came from. Let's see. I don't think Disney had to send them that memo. Okay, I'm horribly behind.
I think chat's kind of having their own conversation.
Yeah.
I've looked over every now and again, and I think they're just kind of talking about something.
Yeah.
So Chad, with your coloring, Are
Okay.
you gonna add any brown tones at all to try and give an effect of rotting flesh to merge the red and the green together? Or are you gonna go for more of like a fantasy look and not do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm shooting once again, shooting from the hip. I didn't gather any reference. Once again, this class is basically an introduction to the tools of Photoshop and Procreate. So anyway, I'm just basically scribbling it down. But I sort of like the red. What do you think? What are you thinking, Raina? You want to see? You think it's a little too hot, a little too intense? It needs some...
I think just a bit.
Okay.
I would add like some browns and maybe some oranges.
Okay.
And then maybe you
This
could
would
get
be
some
really
like
nice.
darker green vein sort of things going on just to help merge the two colors a little bit so it's not like Christmas deer.
Christmas deer. Beelzebuck. He's the new reindeer on Santa's.
This is what gets Krampus around.
Yeah, there we go. He's like Rudolph. Rudolph the Krampus reindeer. There's a movie.
Movie about the reindeer of Krampus.
Yeah. When did you guys hear about Krampus?
Not till
I have no idea.
like when I was older. I was never told about Krampus when I was, you know.
It's
still
not like I was
believing in
threatened by him
Santa.
as a child. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I first discovered Krampus. There's a bunch of illustrators from Europe. Apparently, Krampus has always existed as part of European Christmas celebration. Like everyone over there was aware of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, let's face it. In America, it didn't sell enough bottles of Coca-Cola, right?
I would love to see Krampus drinking a Coke. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, or maybe you know,
Krampus.
smoking some Pall Malls as he hauls children off in his bag.
You do.
Right. So it was the illustration magazine, and they were basically showcasing all these Krampus illustrations from like the 30s, and I was like, I had no idea this was a thing. And then all of a sudden, it was everywhere. I think every artist must have been subscribed to that illustration magazine, because after that magazine came out and Americans found out about Krampus, Krampus had his next day Krampus movie. There we go.
These people were like, "Ooh, scary Christmas. We haven't done that before."
I know, right? Yeah. What was it? Scrooge sort of touched on Scary Christmas. Have you ever seen Scrooge with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
I think so.
Lee Majors as Santa Claus. The night the reindeer died.
When I was little, I used to be scared of Nightmare Before Christmas. I know.
I'm telling you guys right now, they're gonna find bodies in Tim Burton's basement one day. They're gonna find bodies. So, let's do this, Raina. Instead of, or Ray, let's go here, and instead of, I'm gonna just make some selections real quick. I'm gonna go back to my flattened layer, and I'm gonna go to selection tools, and I'm gonna click on automatic, and I'm gonna grab some of these reds. Actually, that is really cool. Look at that. If I
It's a
just
toxic
invert it,
deer.
yeah, I know, right? So let's do this, and then let's do blank.
Me and Ray were just talking about radiation before we got on the stream.
True. We were.
Dude,
That is sort of, I really sort of do dig that. We
It
could
looks
just invert
nice.
it.
More
Yeah.
of like a spectral, spooky
Right,
kind of deal.
yeah.
yeah, it
And-
looks more like
and-
ghostly.
And it works because it's basically monochromatic. Should we
True.
do it? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go in there, and then now we have this, and we can basically go in here. We have the selection. Wow! Now wait, it did. Hold on, what happened? Did we lose our selection?
I like that.
Sometimes we have happy accidents while we're just strumming on the old banjo.
Bob Ross is smiling in his grave as we speak.
Fee Fi Fiddly I.O. Who's that? Bob Ross, yeah. Well,
Heard happy
Chad,
accidents,
bless
and he's
you.
like,
happy accidents.
For you,
My
Chad.
friend Mackie Smith did this in high school. He did this skit where Bob Ross like lost it and had like a deck on it. It did it again. Why?
So today's the day life is not going to be easy for you.
I know. Select. It's not selecting anything else. Go to this. Invert. And it doesn't matter. Well, I still like that better. I don't know why it's only I don't know why it's doing that. But I'm not going to manually do it. We don't have enough time. But I do sort of dig that more. And it makes more sense because like it's like the blood and the guts are what's exposed.
I mean, yeah, flesh is red.
Yeah.
Do
All right,
be red.
happy accidents. Let's see. The night the reindeer died. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in our chat. Our chat's its own little thing now. It's its own thing.
They're live, laugh, love, and life, and good for them.
Let's go back to this red. Boom.
I hope they are. This could be a fight.
I know. Okay, so let's go back now. We've got our shadows put in. Let's just do our highlights. So now here's the thing. Okay, no, our shadow layer's unaffected. So go back to color, and here's our color. We're gonna go for the opposite for the light source. I'm gonna make sure that it's not just like this hot orange, but we are gonna have some orange. And now we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to come in above. We're going to add a layer. And I'm going to go ahead and, should I keep it normal and then change the blending mode of my brush? That's really hot. I'm not liking that, but maybe I turned down the opacity too much. Okay. So I like it right there, and then if it ends up being too hot, I'll adjust the layer. So oh, that's fine. No. That's you guys are welcome to. That's what chat. That's why they call it chat.
I think a community.
Yeah, it's a community. You don't need to apologize for anything. I just can't tell what's going on. Wow, I can't tell you how much more I like that. And it was just a stupid happy accident.
It looks so cool.
That is pretty neat. Yeah, imagine running to that in the middle of the woods at night.
Nope.
The epitome of like you just walk by and it's like that deer has a quest for you, and it's like do not follow that deer on its quest.
Well, you know how like normally when you see a deer, you're excited. You're like, oh, deer, Bambi, you know. And then this gets closer.
No,
like,
I think they're evil.
Maybe not Bambi. I need.
His
like,
mom, maybe. I don't know.
Where's like Joe Rogan when you need him? Shoot the deer, Joe Rogan. Another controversial figure. We're getting banned by everyone today. Cancel Chad.
Okay, well, don't like wish it into existence.
I know.
We just got you back on the internet.
I know, right? Yeah. Squandered my goodwill immediately.
I don't know what it is about deer. I never really trusted them.
You know, essentially all mammals are giant mice. So, and I hate mice. They're fast.
Reminds me of a photo I saw.
Like, have
Found upon the photo.
you guys ever like lifted up a piece of plywood and there's just like a million mice underneath the plywood and they all scatter at once?
No,
Tattooey.
but there have been several times in my current apartment where I live that I will open my pantry and I see at least 3 mice go scurry and hide underneath my art supplies.
Oh
so
no.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, I have so many traps set up and they're just getting smarter and I hate this.
Yeah.
The mice are evolving.
Ugh.
Ray, what if mice are just Pokemon and that's why they're able to evolve like that?
Pika Pika.
Listen, I try not to kill them. I have live traps set up. But if they would leave my house, I would be very happy. I have lost too many boxes of macaroni and cheese and too many bags of chips. This is war.
They're going after your snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. And they can climb the shelves.
Oh, they're so agile.
I'm like, there's nothing I could do.
They're so
They really
agile.
are evolving.
I have all of my favorite foods, like, shoved up on the top shelf of my pantry, because it's the only shelf they haven't figured out a way to get up to yet. So all the good stuff is up there.
Yeah. Traps.
I need to rebait them with, like, fresh peanut butter.
Are you doing the
Because
glue?
once it...
Are you doing the glue trap?
No, those are
Okay.
cruel. I've
Yeah.
got live traps set up.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Kill them quickly.
If you...
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna do kill traps, then the electric ones are the most humane. But I prefer live traps because then I like this is gonna sound so bad. I drive like 2.5 miles north of where I live, and there's this like really rich neighborhood right next to no, hear me out. Right next to a really nice like hiking trail. So I go up the hiking trail a little bit and I release them and I figure 3 things will happen. Like one of 3 things. 1, the mice runs off into the woods and has a nice life for itself. 2, the mouse runs off into the woods and is sustenance for another creature.
Uh-huh.
Or 3, the mouse finds a new comfy home in a big rich house,
Yeah.
which can probably afford the nice electric kill traps that I cannot afford, and it gets a more humane death. So,
There you go.
you know,
There you go.
plus it's funny. I
Win,
drive
win,
up the
win.
mountains and all the mice, they just go.
Now, Joy is... So, I'm in charge of killing, or I shouldn't say killing, but taking care of the spiders in my house. And I'm the type of person that will catch the spider and take it outside and release it because spiders eat flies and insects, especially mosquitoes.
Yeah, some spiders are really good.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and most of them are not venomous or harmful to humans in any way, shape, or form. So I'll try and transport them outside. Everyone else in my family, if the spider sees you, you're just gone. Or if you're spotted, you're a goner. They're not gonna grab the paper plate and give Mr. Spider safe passage out of the house. That's me. But Joy Joy will stomp mice with her bare feet. She will.
No,
Yes.
that is
Oh.
gross.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I've seen her do it.
That's awful. That is ugh.
That is pioneer survival instincts right there.
Very joyful.
Well,
of her.
I never did like them pioneers.
Don't get banned from Draw Night, Ray Ray.
But I'll hold it now. I just want you to have a shirt that says, I never did like them pioneers.
I never did like
I
them
never
pioneers.
did like them
Now,
pioneers.
With the stutters.
I used to tease people when I went to church that my ancestors shot their ancestors. So you guys have all heard the legend of John Wesley Hardin, right?
No.
You've never heard the legend of John Wesley Hardin.
Hold on,
What
Chad.
about you, Perry? Yes.
Oh, well, here's my question.
Uh-huh.
So, neither of us have heard the legend of John Wesley Hardin. However, is the legend of John Wesley Hardin something that should be discussed over livestream?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Okay, if you're sure.
So John Wesley Hardin was the gunfighter, probably the most lethal gunfighter in history. But he was not a likable figure like Billy the Kid. He was just a mean person, and he was famous. He got famous for shooting a man for snoring too loud. He literally killed somebody because they snored too loud. So that's where the Hardins come from.
Then.
We are a mean bunch of people from Texas that basically shoot people for annoying us. Can you guys see it now? Does this start to make sense? Ray and Perry. Like when I get angry at school, why I'm like, I just gotta get out of here.
Considering what you just said about how your family historically has handled their problems, I think you're taking the best route.
Exactly. So, right. But I used to tease, when they had like Pioneer Day or whatever. I was like, yeah, my ancestors probably murdered your ancestors. Easy pickings. Anywho. Yeah. How did we get here? How did we get on this topic?
I don't know. I keep trying to steer us away from more intense topics, and then we just stumble into a new one.
And then here we go. So I think our deer's done. I mean, I'm gonna do more tricks to it. I mean, I'm gonna turn down the line art layer and blend it so it looks more like a painting. Let's do the flame above. Now I have the red flame now. But do we do supernatural flame?
I think to help it fit the color scheme, I would go with a either white or very pale blue flame.
Okay.
A blue flame.
Let's do the... Is this feeling an eternal? That's a song from when I was a kid. Whoa! Something went incredibly wrong. Yay, there we go. That's still too... Here, let's get it more blue. It's still blue. Nope. Daggone it. What? Did I just... There we go. Okay. Should probably just go in here too. Dar. Now I've done it. Oh bother, as Pooh Bear would say. Oh bother.
So, JD Smith DigiArtist asked, Chad, what happens when you turn down the line weight? Can we get a sneak preview / idea?
Yeah, so I do a few things. So this part of it, let me just take the flat layer, and then I'm going to duplicate that layer, and then I'm going to come up above the line art. Maybe. There we go. Come up above the line art. And then I'm going to turn the line art layer. I can either turn it to a normal layer. And then just turn the opacity down. And then, I need to move. if I'm going to do that, or I can turn it to I can just explore my blending options. That's lighten, screen, color dodge. Now, the one that works for me, I like soft light. But you have to, for soft light to work, let's put it at 100%, and then you have to come in here to your line art layer and just turn it down. And what happens with that is you'll notice that all of a sudden the intensity goes away. Now, I wasn't exactly ready for that. You can see that preemptive. There's parts where I didn't fully color in the shadows, so we're not ready for that yet. So let me just go back real quick. But yeah, basically I'm gonna get rid of the black, because black, when you start blending the color black, it turns everything really muddy, and it just sort of looks goopy. And the Russian bots are back. Russian YouTube bots, thank you so much for joining. Let's see. I've got a story to show what an awesome and sweet guy Chad is. Who wants to? No, Jared, don't. All right. Yeah. So anyway, that should be coming up here pretty shortly. I'm going to turn that off and then turn this back up. And then where were we? What were we doing? So let's turn off the line art layer, and let's just make sure that our, you know what, we need to reselect. Let's go back into our select tool, save and load, selection, and then come here, and then we need to make sure that we're messed up. Was that our? I'm on the wrong layer. That's a multiply.
I just had a thought. I'm worried it would kill the whole vibe of this deer.
Why? That is.
I looked at it and I thought, bubblegum.
Bubblegum. I like bubblegum. I swear to you, I've got like 50 spam calls today. It's.
How is that extended warranty? Your car.
I don't. That's the only bipartisan bill that's ever passed the Senate in the last 20 years. Is the government's right to sell your phone number to third-party vendors. So, thanks, United States government. Can't get health care, but we can sell your info. Yay! Alright, so I'm just making these shadows make a little bit more sense. Alright, we got another yeah, this is definitely we're not gonna get away from the color, the Skittle. Oh my heck. I've done it. I've made a Skittle palette. I have sold out.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Because, like, with the whole, bubblegum, cotton candy thing in mind, I just look at that neck and I think, chewy, and I want to bite it.
No.
That's a good thing. Like, no.
It's, like, oddly inviting in a very horrific way.
Poor Ray Ray. Ray Ray's like the only normal person. Only normal person on this live stream. That's it. Everybody else is just too far down the rabbit hole. Alright, let's turn back on this. I wish you guys could listen to my pretzel station. It is going
me too.
Full dubstep right now.
Nice.
I feel like I'm fighting the final boss on like Mega Man.
Sick.
I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again real quick. Let's come in here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a clipping mask. So let's put a layer above. clipping mask, go into here, turn that opacity up, come into our flame, and voila. Cute puppy, Steve. I miss you. I love you, dude. I miss you so much. Oh, Steve. Steve,
Came out of nowhere.
I was gonna say what?
Mile High Comics. Steve Puava, my brother from another mother. Steve and I. Steve, where did we meet? Junior high? We go way back. We go 35 years back. That's how long I've known Steve. So Steve was my rep for the longest time. He was with me during the Harley years, during the dark times. The dark times.
Ow.
Yeah. Miss you, my friend. Glad you're joining us, though. Okay, so there's that. So, clipping mask. That was an educational moment that we just glazed over. So let's go back real quick. So, clipping mask. That's another way to basically exercise really good control over. So I showed you the quick way to come in and basically turn those dark super black lines down so that they don't become like a muddy color when you start blending this, if you choose to blend it. A clipping mask allows you to go in and basically paint out that line. Okay, so that's what we did here. We painted it out, and it's a floating layer above your line art layer, and then you just come in and paint it, and that way, if you know, when you flatten and you start to blend, when you start to blend, you're not blending those harsh blacks that muddy up your colors. So, anywho, all right. So, but I do think it's about that time to get rid of our line art. So let's go ahead and let's duplicate our flat layer. Let's bring it up, the copy up above our line art layer, and I think we turned it into a soft light. I like soft light. And then what I do is I come over here to the line art layer, and I just turn that opacity down. And look, it's no longer that harsh black. It still has a lot of that detail, but now when we go to blend it, we're not going to be blending muddy colors. We're going to be blending just darker colors. So I like it. This is what I do though. Non-destructive editing. Okay, that's important to a lot of employers. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to duplicate some of these layers and hide them. And then you're going to want to take all these layers that are working for you and bring them up here. Let's see. Looks like this was my soft light layer from before. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Duplicate. And then I'm going to turn off the ones that are not visible. And then I'm going to merge. Whoa. And I'm going to merge that. Boom. Okay, so now I have basically a flattened layer of my paints. And then I can basically add these to a group. Daggone it. There we go. Yeah, this is all sort of maybe. There we go. So this is basically all my build files. And then I can just, everything I'm not dealing with just goes in here to that new group. And then now I'm basically painting on a flattened layer. So now at this point, it's not a trick anymore. I'm basically painting on. This would be like painting on canvas. You're painting on a single layer at this point. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to whip out this brush right here now, and then I'm going to get this streaky blender, and let's make sure. Oh, whoa, daggone it! Let's undo that real quick. Put that there. Make sure you're on the right layer. Wow! Make sure you're on the blending. Yeah, there we go. Let's start. It's not doing exactly what I want it to do. So let's pick another blender here. I'm just gonna go back to my trusty normal. Turn it up. It's a little too harsh. There we go. Now, if you like the aesthetic of this, you can stop. And I should tell this to my students all the time. Like, how long have we been going now? Okay, so we've been going for an hour and a half. So I only want you to be spending about 2 hours when you digitally paint these up. So if it took you 2 hours to get to this point, this is a good stopping point. You don't have to take it further. You can turn this in, and this is acceptable. Okay. So if this is where you want to stop, that's fine. If you want it to be more painterly, you just need to do a little bit more blending, in my opinion. Okay. You know what, though? I sort of do dig that. I mean, because that looks very hairy.
It does.
So why don't we just focus on some of the... Let's fix a few things that we swapped when we turned it over. Let's go back into here. And let's get some green grass. How about that? We'll just go to a normal. What? And then... Why is that not even showing up at all? Chad Feather normal. Am I on the right layer? No! Oh, daggone it. I'm drawing on my group again. How did that happen? And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to do multiply. Just get a few streaks in there that are... Turn down the opacity. It's a little dark. And then let's go up here. And let's... fix this. I'm going to go to color dodge. Actually, I'm going to go to that pencil color dodge. And we're just going to ping in the... And there we have Beelzebuck.
Sweet.
Looks so good.
Yeah, and it was fast and furious, and I love how we just stumbled onto the whole. Right, yeah. That deer jerky might do some mean things to you. That's right. Yep. Don't want to stumble onto that in a dark path.
Definitely not.
All right. Yeah, let's I'm gonna do one more thing to it real quick. Add a new layer. I'm gonna switch back to black, go back to normal pencil. I'm gonna come in here and do drawing assist, canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and go to 2D grid. Click done. Turn on drawing assist for this layer. Just create some guidelines. Whoopsie. And then turn that off. No, I think I've been doing just chat Hardin on this. I can't remember. And then we'll say here. Ah! There we go. Did I spell it right, Perry?
Let me see. It's 2 R's.
Oh! Well, here. There we go. Alright.
I don't know why that's making me so happy. I'm like, whoa! My name's on there.
Wow. I feel like professional adjacent.
Alright, there we go. It's signed and done.
Nice.
Okay, so next live stream a week from today, we'll probably be either we're going to do one or two things. We're going to be back on pages, interior pages for Death Watch, or we're going to be live streaming commissions. I'm terribly behind on both. So let's get caught up a little bit on the chat. Let's see. Now there's some deer jerky I don't want to have. That's what the last one. Oh dear. Nuck, nuck, nuck. Dev, I'm going to flunk you this week in the discussion.
Don't forget the paper.
He who would pun would pick a pocket, sir. That's right. I shouldn't forget the paper. Actually, now we're even. Let's see. No, Jared, don't encourage him at all. There you go. You've been immortalized. Looks like a non-Russian bot is spamming our YouTube channel. YouTube, get some stuff on your people. I've never seen so many spams on a chat before as I have seen in YouTube chat. Anyway, there we go. Oh, let me turn off the selection tool so we get a good look at it. There is Beelzebuck in all of Beelzebuck's glory. Once again, if you enjoyed this live stream, please like and subscribe. We also encourage you to support Artist Elite Comics as soon as you see the previews coming out. Make sure that you ask your local comic book shop to order and to order big. And we appreciate you guys tuning in and kicking off your weekends with us here on Creating Comics live stream. Anyway, I'm your host, Chad Hardin, signing out. Perry, Ray, any last words for this stream?
This comic's going to be great. You guys should definitely be excited and look forward to reading it.
Yeah. Perry and Ray know all the secret details. And
We
Mecca
do.
Jared.
Sure.
Now listen, I do want to add this. I actually did sign an NDA. So they said we could do the live stream, but no talkie. I guess we're not supposed to
Understood.
spill. Yeah, we're not supposed to spill any beans. So
Hey,
it's the weirdest. It's a weird situation having an NDA on a creator-owned project. Anyway, but like I said, we are good to live stream. I just don't think we're supposed to spill details. So anywho, that's it. We will see everybody next week. Everyone be safe. Have a good weekend. Until then, ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.